Hi everyone, it's Miss Monique. I'm starting a new video blog for our ensemble each week. It'll feature either myself or Mike, giving you some updates for what we have done in our rehearsal. So check it out. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank all the parents for coming nice and early this morning and helping us set up the room, get the kids organized. We really appreciate you doing that for us. So we hope to see you again next week. I'd also like to mention Lena for organising our first term this year and helping us get everything organised. We are very grateful for her assistance. I would also want to briefly mention that each week you'll be getting these updates, and you can also see in this email a couple of links to the music that we worked on today, including the second violin part that we didn't get out to everyone. So there'll be a couple of demonstrations today of those parts so that you can practice along with me. For your warm-up this week, or even just in your ensemble, your lesson practice, I'd like everyone to continue working on their wonderful bow holds, whether you are holding it like this or like this in your lessons. I'm going to leave that up to your teacher to decide which technique you prefer, which one you are better at. I'm also really loving our technique for our violin and violas to keep our nice open wrist along here, and it just allows for better intonation, and it just looks really good too. So we want to work on that in our lesson time with our teachers. I actually noticed Emily in the front row this morning. She jumped up in front of everybody and gave a demonstration of her wrist. So 10 out of 10, Emily. Well done for that technique. Okay, this week we have started a new piece. It's an excellent challenge for everyone involved, and it was arranged by our wonderfully talented Michael. It is the Sesame Street theme song, which is super cute, and it does involve some new and interesting concepts. So let's talk about these new notes. In the first violin part, for those who received the first violin this week, we have some very interesting notes coming up, which we'd love for our tutors to begin explaining these concepts. The rhythm's not too difficult. It's a song that most children have grown up with, or hopefully have been exposed to at some point in their lives. So there are some different kinds of notes that we're going to talk about today. The first one I wanted to mention was in bar 11, right here. This note these two notes right here. We have above the note right there a low 2, which means our second finger is going to go next to our first finger on the A string. And then after that it says high 2, which means we push that second finger up next to our third finger. And I will be doing a demonstration of this today so that you can see how those fingers work, and how for the parents at home working with your child and their practice, helping them work out this new finger pattern. We would like the kids at least to get the first 2 lines, or even just up to this note right here, so that we can start working on the main theme of the song. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll be taking a look at our last line here with all of their very cool and interesting notes too. Yes, these are not essentially the first things that we teach on our instruments. However, they're very small adjustments to fingers that we may already know, such as first fingers, seconds, and thirds on our D and A string. So they might be a slight bit of a challenge, but we are really about expanding the children's knowledge of these notes. And it's a simple enough melody that we can kind of sing, that I don't think it's going to take the kids too much time to get their heads around these new notes. If you do find that your child or your student, for the tutors, are really struggling on the music that they have right now, we do have easier versions available. So feel free to have a look at those versions and see if they are a little bit more suitable for your student. Okay, the next one is the second violin part. Now this one is a different version of the one that we taught today. For all of our second violins who played open D, first fingers, squishy low twos, and third fingers. I will be performing that riff in just a minute so that you can play along with me, and we will be emailing that sheet music in this email, so you can print that music off, take it to your teachers, and start learning that riff. It pretty much repeats itself most of the way through this piece. In fact, yeah, pretty much until that last line anyway. So if anything, what you want to be working on second violins is seeing if you can either remember the riff by memory. It just helps you kind of groove along and enjoy what's happening around you, but also seeing if you can kind of follow along in the music just in case you get lost as well. That's going to be important too. So I encourage all my second violins to try and learn that riff as best they can, even just the first 2 lines. Yeah, I reckon just at least to the end of the second line would be totally fine. Even if you only get the first line done this week, that is absolutely fine. We can work with that. Practice, any practice is good practice in my eyes. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to start with the second violin part that we learned today. Just the riff that I'd like the kids to kind of work on. It's super cute. It's very groovy. And as Mike mentioned today to our ensemble, that this theme, the Sesame Street theme, was actually written by Stevie Wonder. So kids, do some music research. YouTube with your parents, Stevie Wonder. I guarantee you'll find music of his that you will love. So let's have a look at the second violin riff for this week. Okay, this is my viola, by the way, so don't get confused about which string I'm playing on. I will be playing on the D string, which is my second string in, but for the violins, it will be your third string in, okay? So more than anything, listen to my riff. Okay, so I'm starting on open D, and I'm going to go nice and slow first. Open D first. 3, 4. Low 2. That is going to be repeating itself throughout this song. I started on open D, then to first finger, then to a squishy second finger, so right next to that first finger. This is a low 2. You can see that on your music. It will say low 2, and that goes right next to your first finger, and then 1, 2, 1. So you got D, D, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. It's actually very simple. In fact, most of our second violins today picked that up straight away. So it was really cool to see that. All right, I'm going to play it one more time. See if you can play along with me. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, go. Give it a go, second violins. If you can get it faster than that, awesome. We'd love that. Great. Let's have a look at first violins. Okay, next. First violins, you guys have some great melody involved in your part. It also is mainly for the students who are getting a little bit better with moving around their violin a lot more, especially with string crossings. I'd like those who received a first violin part to really give it a good shot. I would at least allow, 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks of practice on this before you decide whether it might be just like way too hard for you. However, if there are tutors out there who do think that the part is just really not clicking with their students, please let us know straight away. We can move them on to an easier part and they can groove along with everyone else. But for those who have the first violin part, we really think that you guys can give this a good go. So, and not to mention you actually did a really great job today of that as well. So I'm going to at least play for you Let's see, I'm gonna play from the letter A all the way to bar 11 at least, okay? So that would be where you guys would be practicing to. So that's from letter A all the way to this note right here. Okay, so you're gonna play all the way through to this note. And I'm gonna go really slow so you can hear it and try and match it with your fingers as well. So I'll play up nice and close. Okay, let's do this. All right, starting with my third finger on E string. Don't forget this is a viola. All right, here we go. I'll play the melody for you first. 3, 4, rest. 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 All right, it's sounding really groovy. We're going to talk a little bit about the feel of this song next week. Little things like words like syncopation and groove especially. But I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to show you a couple little exercises that I'd like you to work on to help you move your fingers around the violin. So the one thing that we talked about this morning was that third finger on A string, first finger on A string, and then to D3. So this is what they sound like by themselves. First finger, D3. I'm going to do that again for you. Third finger on A, first finger, D3. And that's the beginning of the song. Have a listen. And then I'm going to move, stay on that third finger. I'm going to move to open A and I'm going to go 3, A1. So third finger on D, 3, A1. All right, let's hear that groove again. Here we go. Now, the best way you can practice that is just doing your third finger on A, your first finger on A, and your D3. And just play through those notes, take out your rhythm, and play through those notes so you can find out where on your violin those fingers need to go. And then you can add your rhythm in after. So let's do this nice and slow again. Here we go. Third finger, first finger, D3. 3 again, open A, first finger, and just do that a couple of times. And one more time, a little bit slower this time. Cool. So, first violins, I'm going to play that part nice and slow. I'd like you to take your parts to your tutor so you can play along. However, you can use this video as a little practice buddy at home, okay? So let's take it nice and slow from the beginning. All right, don't forget, so I'll be saying rest. So keep that in your mind to remember where to stop playing and start playing. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 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 Low 2, high 2, push it up, together third. All right, cool. Okay, so rewatch this as many times as you like. Give it your best shot. We are not expecting perfection next week, but we are expecting progress. All right, cool. Okay, I have a slight message from a good friend of mine who's going to ask the question of the week. Are you ready to meet my best friend, Miss Kitty? Let's Hello, children. My name is Miss Kitty. I am a violist in my own cat ensemble. We are also too learning the Sesame Street theme, and I'm a little bit nervous about asking my conductor what this means on the music. Let me just go get my song. 2 seconds. Okay, at the beginning of our music, there are two numbers on top of each other. The number 4 and top of the number 4. And I just don't know what that means. I don't know how I'm going to possibly find out for next week's rehearsal. So, if you could please ask your tutors, or you could ask your mom and dad, or you could Google it. I need to know this answer by next week. So if you could all please write on your music what it means, and Miss Monique or Mike can tell me next week. Okay, children, see you next week. Goodbye. Okay, thanks, Miss Kitty. You could have just asked me, but sure. She's going to find out. You guys need to find out. Let's see if we can answer the question for her. All right, thanks.